Fret buzz. Fret buzz, fret buzz, fret buzz. It's a conversation I find myself having with a lot of clients and customers. Um, in a nutshell, it is impossible to have a low action with no fret buzz. You will never in a million years get away from it. Um, if you are playing guitar or bass at home using a USB interface and you've got on headphones and you hear that fret buzz in your ear, you will never unhear it. No matter what you do to the guitar, you will raise the strings, a mile off the fretboard, and you'll still hear it, and you'll drive yourself nuts. There's a point where it's you. It's not the guitar at fault. It's your perception of what a guitar should be. A guitar and a bass will never be perfect. It is just impossible. Okay, whether it's string mechanics or your style, not any of that, you're never going to get away from it. So you have to be realistic. If you want a low, comfortable action, you're going to have to put up with a little bit of fret buzz here and there. It is not the end of the world if a little bit of string buzz comes through. If it is, and I'm not the first person to say this, you've chosen the wrong instrument. If you can't deal with it, it's you. Okay, that's all I can say. Here's a Music Man, Ernie Ball, Stingray, and there's not a whole lot I can do with it to give it a low action and to make it really, really, clean sounding. It's just impossible. Whether you play with your fingers, you're going to get a little bit of fret buzz. Now, if you play really soft, fine. If you hit it hard, yes, you're going to get some fret buzz. If you play it with a plectrum, yeah, you're going to get that too. It's dynamic. It's a dynamic instrument. It's not a piano. You hit a piano, the strings are out of your control. They're off somewhere in the grand chamber of things. You are operating the strings on this thing. You are putting different amounts of pressure on it. So ultimately it comes down to you, your style. You have to be realistic about your expectations. If you want a bass to play like a guitar, then you're just going to have to put up with some fret buzz, because you're going to have to raise the action to get over the frets. The harder you hit the strings, the more they're going to rattle, the more they're going to vibrate. They just need a little bit more space to do that. And if it's high, then they have a little bit more space. They're not going to clatter on the frets as much. If it's low, they're going to clatter on the frets. That's just it. I think that's really the takeaway from today. Fret buzz, there are some instances where, yeah, it's really bad. Choke notes, uneven frets. That's going to cause a problem, and those can be dealt with all right. But if you have a really good fretboard, if the frets are nice and level, the neck is in good shape, and the action is comfortable for you, but it's still, it's ringing, I hate the fret buzz, that's you. What a wonderful addition to a thing about fret buzz. Now I have a guitar here with me. I was just gonna set it up, that's all it was gonna be, but then I realized after straightening the neck and roughing in the saddle height, that, and even at the nut, I realized that this is a good example of uneven frets. This is when you know that you have to go beyond a regular setup. So let's have a listen to this, the treble E string here. That's not good. So there's the 10th fret. And the 9th fret sounds suspiciously like the 10th fret. That's because when you're on the 9th fret here, it is lower in comparison to the 10th fret, where the 10th fret, I think in this situation, is higher. I did a little bit of checking with a fret rocker, and I found some more of those. Not too bad. You've got one really bad spot on the E. There we go again. That's no good. Again, we're on the 9th and 10th fret. So again, it looks like the 10 is very high in comparison to the 9. Not good. not so terrible. A little bit of fret buzz along there, but it's not terrible. So I'm going to level the frets on this because checking with the fret rocker earlier on, I could tell that there were some uneven spots. And so yeah, this is a situation where fret buzz is unacceptable, where we've got... That's a problem, and that can be fixed, and that is not psychological. So maybe watch this space, eh? Much better. Leveled off the frets. Did some setting up and all that. I don't want to give away all my trade secrets. And it sounds much, much better. Now, it is a Tanglewood. Haven't been impressed by a Tanglewood just yet. It's, as you can see, it's a Strat type. It has a Strat type of bridge. Doesn't really operate as well as a Strat type of bridge. Right now, it's kind of floating. I would think that maybe it's better off just sort of pinned back and maybe not even used, because it doesn't like to return to zero very well, but it's sort of doable. It's not the worst. One thing I'll give away, a little trick and a tip. I bought this stuff when I lived in Toronto, and I must have bought it about, this is before my son was born, so this is like 16 years old. I paid like nearly 14 bucks for it. It is clear paste wax buffable with carnauba. Restores, enriches, protects, and it is long wearing. It's for hardwood, vinyl, cork, and linoleum floors, furniture, woodwork. You can even use it on marble. It's basically a wax. And I never even thought to use it as a lubricant. So what I'm trying is to put a little bit of this wax stuff almost anywhere I need a lubricant near wood. In the nut, I slathered on a little bit of the nut. You know, if you've got a trem going on, you might want to lube up the nut slots. Down when there's metal contact on the trem bridge itself, I jammed in a load of wax there. You know, it's better, maybe better than grease. You could probably use some off-the-shelf stuff like Tri-Flow, which goes into a bit of a gel. But this stuff is actually meant for wood, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, so we don't have any more fret problems with this guitar, which is very good.